Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slamfire Radio for August 20th, 2020. This is episode 368, and I am one of your hosts, Trevor.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
I'm another one of your hosts, Adriel.
You almost sounded like an auctioneer there.
Pretty close.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip would be proud.
No.
So, would you say no?
No.
I don't think he'd be proud.
I don't
No.
think he'd be proud either.
No.
No. He would find a way to ridicule, no doubt.
Mhm.
You know, for somebody who talks really fast and a lot, he says a lot of nothing, doesn't he? I will get a
part of the
message about
program.
that, and that's okay.
And it's okay. All right. Well, speaking of things that are okay, let's get into what we did this week in guns, which is brought to us by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. This week, they have Smith brand shooting glasses. So if you're tired of neglecting your eyesight and would like to protect it, you should look at these because they are, the whole ballistics plastic thing. They wrap around, protect the side of your eyes. Yes, you can get away with using your regular eyeglasses at a gun range. I've never been to a range anywhere in Canada that said, no, you can't wear your eyeglasses. You have to wear actual shooting glasses. So I did wear my actual eyeglasses for many, many years. But after taking, slag off of steel to the face a few times, I'm like, yeah.
Maybe there's something to this.
Adrian and I talked about this recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea to get them, but I still wear my same glasses.
It really
Side
depends
shields,
on-
maybe? Would you wear side shields? Because the
I would
gap,
not.
the gap is where you could get
Yeah,
like a
you're
piece
right.
of frag in from the side that like smoked you in the eyeball.
Mine came in through here, up underneath
If it bounces
my
off your hat, that's probably okay. But if it comes screaming in from the side and gets a direct hit on your eyeball,
You're done.
Mine was so I had a Magnum sitting right there,
Yeah.
22 Magnum right there. So I finished the string of fire. I then took the casing,
peeled it off.
right?
Yeah,
and I gave it
stick
to-
scars.
I'm a chick,
Doesn't mean a chick won't find your scars
and I
attractive.
walked around work for like a week and a half, and everybody's going,
Telling everyone you walked into a door. That's good.
"Yeah,
You're
I
well-trained.
actually did that because
Of course you did.
he said, well, I got into a little bit of an accident. I kind of walked into a door. Like, I work in a prison. I'm not saying, well, I was shooting things and no.
Mm.
Anyways.
Wow. So buy some safety glasses from the Calgary Shooting Center. Protect your eyeballs.
Yeah.
All right. Adriel, what did you do this week in guns?
Oh, I did a bunch of stuff.
Well, why don't you tell us about it?
Let me go speaker view and then pin my video. There we go. Let's see. So, Ladies' Day on Saturday? I think it was on Saturday.
Yay!
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that really loud. But
We
you guys
had,
had, how many did you have?
Every
think it
day
was-
is Ladies' Day for Adriel.
Yeah, I was surrounded by ladies. 94 attendees, which is a lot.
I thought it was 97.
Maybe it's 97.
97.
Yeah, I only pay attention this much, and it was a lot. It was it was a lot of people to run through, but fantastic. I think people are just like bored at home, and it's like, hey, you want to go to the shooting range and shoot some guns? They're like, yes, get me out of this house. Let's do some stuff. So super busy, super good time.
97 ladies.
Yes,
It was
97
well
ladies.
advertised.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we had the core from last year. Like I recognized a lot of people from last year as well, which was good.
And a lot of those people from last year, well, it's kind of like we do things like in groups, right? So I tell two friends, they tell two friends, and it's kind of like that Breck commercial from the 1970s. Yes, I'm old.
Yeah, lots of I don't even know what you're talking about. But okay. Yes, that bread commercial from the 70s.
No, Breck. It's shampoo, but
Okay.
Breck. crack shampoo. Never
Oh,
mind.
you should have let it go, Adriel.
Yeah,
You
should
got to learn when to let go. Kelly says she's old. You just put it in the win category, check the box, and move on.
Yeah, I should have. Let's see. So things that I saw. So I brought a couple of different 22 rifles out there. I brought my Winchester Wildcat. Ran great the whole day. A lot of ladies really liked it because it was so light and because the irons on it. I would like roughly describe how to use the irons. I'm like, here's a picture. There's a circle. There's a post. Put the target on the post there, and they all did it just fine. They didn't need any other instruction. It was just natural. They just picked it up and started shooting it. Yeah.
Well,
None of this surprises you.
that actually happens because his iron naturally wants to do that anyways. We're looking through the center of that little peep sight, right?
And they all did great on
front
it.
post. Yeah.
So that one was a favorite. And then
I've been seeing a lot of those on the line, by the way, lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have you been seeing them on the line? Because that Winchester ran with no jams all day. It doesn't like loading from the Ruger mags. Like the Ruger mags are very hard to get into it, whereas the Winchester mags work just fine.
And actually extract them as well. It's a little harder to do that. There was a little bit of difficulty. I saw the last one. There was a kid that was about 16 years old. He was having difficulty with that. But I think part of it was his. Anyways, we will move on. We won't talk about that. There's reasons. And then we also had another lady who was using it, and she was using the peep sights, and she found it was okay. She struggled with her vision though. She actually had vision problems with her eyes. So I said she was doing actually really good. But I just gave her my rifle and said here, and she did much better.
The other advantage to that was some people would pick a scoped rifle, they'd pick it up and they'd be like, I can't see through the optic, and after 30 seconds or so of futzing around, it's like, take that, let's give you this guy, and there's no issues. Everyone can see through the peep. There's no eye relief that you need to do or anything like that. They all figured that out very quickly. So that was very good. And the rest of the guns were 10-22s. They all ran fine, and
so then
straightforward.
We have established in your welcome world peeps for beginners. Start people off on peeps. Every time you had a problem with somebody, you gave them a peep and it was fine.
If I had a red dot,
Kelly 30 seconds ago was saying, well, we naturally look through it. And then when I say we start beginners on peeps, she goes, no, actually, no, don't. No,
you don't. We kind of want to set them up for success.
For right? for the 1 minute of
peep.
patience that I have.
They can line it up, but can they actually hit where they're supposed to be hitting though?
That a little bit more debatable. I mean, for 1 minute to like bang off 10 rounds at a ladies' day where you've got to go through like 5 or 6 stations.
So getting them on a peep is just to make your life as an instructor easier, not to set them up for success.
Well, both, because if they were just on the scope, it would take for some of them had vision problems or
dominance.
Eye dominance problems. I would try I'm just gonna cover your eye and see if that works, and that worked for some people. But for some people,
you had 100 ladies. Do you know how many of them were cross-eye dominant?
A lot. Yeah.
I would say almost half of them, right?
Yeah. So I mean, So anyways, the peep was really good for get on, see what you need to see, and shoot a target. And I think that was that part was really good. The part I was trying to show at that station was more like positional shooting while standing. So like getting your blading 90 degrees to the target, getting your hand underneath, getting that flat platform hand, and that was basically it. Because again, 100 ladies, so I needed to move through.
Did you kick out your hip and just do?
A little bit. I tried for some people. I'd be like,
100 ladies. I guarantee you there were hips kicked out. Somebody's kicking out some hips. There was duck lips too for the selfies.
Yeah.
There were some selfies. I actually saw one youth shooter get on, and as she was firing, she was like very purposeful. Fire it, hold the trigger back, slowly let it go, click. I'm like, cadets. And she's like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't pull that on my line. I know that. I know that's training. Yeah. What else did I do? So that was that station. I brought my WS MCR and I put that on the line, and they ran that.
Yes, Adriel, tell us how that was. How was that?
So For the
It was
ladies,
good while they were using it.
it was fine. It was fine. Yeah.
They broke
Now,
shit.
well, good, because I'd rather they break it on their time rather than I break it during a match. So the
that's true.
stock broke. It's got like a little pin in there that
What?
fell out.
Your Chinesium stock Magpul knockoff broke?
The one that they included with the rifle, that one didn't work.
What?
So that broke. The castle nut started to loosen off, so they like hand tightened it, but you know how that goes. That doesn't work really well, especially since like there's not really, if you run a carbine stock on one of these, there's not really much holding that end plate in, so that can wobble quite a bit. So I have tightened it and staked it now.
What?
And
You staked it?
Yeah, why not? It's super easy to do. You tighten
Why
it down,
not?
and then you
They
crank
should
that.
all be staked
Yeah.
so that what happens doesn't happen.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
And then
I'm just more sarcastic than you, and you're having a hard time to tell.
No, I can tell.
Oh,
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Okay.
And then the roll pin failed. For me, although the ladies were fine. They fired 300 rounds through it. They were fine. I tried to shoot 20 rounds through it to like sight in the optics so I could shoot 3-gun with it, and firing pin.
I'm willing to
came
bet
out the
they
back.
planted the seed of destruction for the roll pin.
I don't know why
started
they
the
did that.
damage.
I don't know why that. I don't know
'Cause
why
they
that
hate
roll
you.
pin. Sorry, I know why the ladies did it. Yes, they hate me, but I don't know
Yeah.
why the manufacturer put the roll pin in there, because it takes a regular pin. Like, I don't know if you can see that there, but I have a regular AR pin in there right now. It's in the spot it's supposed to be. It's solid.
So right now, you're retaining your firing pin with the same pin that a firing pin is retained in a regular AR-15 bolt carrier group?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shake your head no.
So why, Kelly?
They're just kidding.
So your question was, why didn't they use that pin in the first place?
My only guess is that the AR parts can't come into Canada right now.
That's
and
what
there
I
was
was
a shortage
wondering.
of them. That's my only guess. It's not an appropriate part to put in there. And they're
wonder if
hollow.
it-
They're hollow. You batter them a little bit, and they squish down.
Squish,
not-
they crush.
Yeah,
crush,
you crush it. It's a crush. It's a crush pin, not a roll pin.
right? Yeah.
And I mean, the firing pin's gonna nail that thing. So you need like a solid piece of metal, either a solid pin, or I've just got a split pin in there right now, which is again the same thing you'd find on an AR.
Interesting.
Yeah. The rest of it was fine. I found out a couple other things when I was doing my review of this thing. So my video review, I tried putting a couple triggers in it. I think the safety is drilled in the wrong spot because,
What happened when you put the new trigger in, Adriel?
well, I'll just show you this here.
Oh,
This is with my component trigger in here. This is the
Okay.
one that I'm keeping in here.
Yeah.
I just confirmed the chamber's empty. You fire. You shouldn't be able to put the safety on after you fired because the trigger's in a different spot, right? So that was like clue number one that something was wrong. And then actually when we were recording the main topic on Tuesday there, I put a different trigger in. There's a finer trigger. There's not a lot of movement there at the back. And with the safety on, it would still fire. So that's why I think this safety, like the hole for it, is either that's in the wrong spot or these trigger pins are in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be able to. The safety should do
Fire
something. Yeah. Ideally. Ideally.
Did it come with a mil spec AR-15 trigger group?
Yes. And with that, it ran fine. It would still allow you to push the safety forward on a fired, like when the hammer was forward.
Okay. So any warning as to, don't muck around, don't change the trigger?
There's no instruction manual with it. It's in a box with 2 mags.
Okay.
There's no manual.
'Cause see, in fairness to Freedom Ordnance, when they put out the FX9, it looks like an AR trigger group, but it's not really an AR trigger group. And they tell you, don't go sticking AR trigger groups in this thing because you could run into problems. So if you sell a gun and it's assumed that it has an AR trigger group in it, and people immediately upgrade the trigger on their rifles, only to turn around and have certain trigger groups safeties fail, that's a problem. Who's liable when an accident happens in that case?
Well, you modified the gun, so
Yeah,
I
you would be.
don't think the manufacturer would take liability if they did
That
that.
would
It
simply-
does say trigger type AR-15 on this.
It does.
on the product
Okay,
page,
so
yeah.
there you go. Okay, yeah, I modified the gun, but I mean, ARs are Lego for adults. That's what we do. We customize them. I mean, I changed the rims on my car. It's not a big deal. So what?
It shouldn't be.
And it's not like I tried to stick an AK group in there. You know what I mean? Didn't modify the gun. I simply swapped out some parts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, I've got my Rock River Arms National Match 2-stage trigger in there right now, which is fine. It's a 4-pounder. It's all right. It's not as nice as my other ones, but it's okay. I would really recommend like a bolt hold open lever, because if you get a double feed, you won't be able to fix it. And I don't know. I mean, like some people were asking about the forend. They're like, "That what kind of foreends you could put on that? That's a proprietary, right?" And it's like, no, this is some Chinesium forend. You just need like a lot of room right here. So you can't have one that's real tight around the gas block and needs a low profile gas block. You need one that's got a little bit more room at the top there, because the gas block does have to run a piston in it, and it's bigger than a regular AR-15 gas block. And then I put a different stock on there. I put an MOE fixed on there because I like them. I like those stocks, nice and solid. If you want a longer version of that, on my YouTube channel, I've got the review on the WSMCR and the mods to it. I've got a maple seed this weekend at Provost. Provost is where that's at. So,
did you have to think about it?
Yes. I wanted to say Tabor, but it's like, no, I'm not going to Tabor. That's way too far. I'm going to Provost. Yeah, it's only 3 hours. That's not so bad.
Yay.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Go tent out there and then do a maple seed and head on back. And then I was looking at my safety glasses and like, man, these are all dirty. So I cleaned them all, and it's like, they're dirty and they're scratched to get to hell. So it's time to get some more safety glasses. So I ordered some cheapies. These are just $10 ones off of Amazon. But I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a gap between my head and the glasses. And what that does when you wear those and you wear like tight headphones is that you either don't get a seal, or if they're very thick, they kind of push into your temples. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, those, if you're going to run earplugs, these are fine. I got some blue tinted ones, and these are a little bit closer. The only reason I got them in blue was because that's what they had on sale. But these are a lot closer to my head. And then I saw some Smith shooting glasses. I was really looking for one that had a really super thin arm right where your temple is. And these Smith ones are as thin as you can get. Look at that.
And why is that important, Adriel?
Because that's where your headphones or your electronic ear protection is going to hit on your head. So if you're going to wear headphones all day, like at a maple seed or something like that, these won't push into your skull as much. They just kind of sit right on that thin piece of the armor.
And
Even if you've got nice gel cups, man, if you got the wrong glasses on, it pushes in the side of your head and can even give you a headache after a while.
Yep.
But so for you, the other glasses, we were talking about this as well. The other glasses, the sound, you could hear other things, whereas with these glasses, you're not able to.
Better
It's
seal.
a good seal.
Yeah.
So you're not able to hear other things.
Yeah, so it should give me a better seal. And these Smith ones, by the way, Calgary Shooting Center has Smith ones. I got these before I saw the sale at Calgary Shooting Center, though. 9/11 Supply had them. I'm like, cool, I'll get those. But then next day I look and Calgary Shooting Center has them. These come with a clear, and then they also come with a tinted polarized one, which is kind of nice. Because
do you like yellow?
I do like yellow shooting glasses, though, because the nice thing about those yellow ones is that they block a lot of that blue. They're just easier on the eyes. These are nice too.
I'm going to get a new set, and I'm going to get yellow. I started to wear yellow safety glasses while on the driver's stand because it really makes my car pop on the track, and I have no problem following it around.
Yeah, I mean, it's the yellow ones are nice for just a little bit of reduction on the brightness. These are quite bright. I don't really like that these make it look like I have a unibrow, but
you do, so that's okay.
But I do.
Embrace the brow.
But the brass isn't going to go down there, though.
No, No, because
Yeah, they're
it's
ones.
pretty tight on the top there, and it's pretty tight down here as well.
They look
Like a
pretty
tiger.
good. The other ones make you look like you should be singing Barbie Girl from
All those blue
1990.
ones?
Yeah. I'm a Barbie girl.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, it's Bono.
No, it's
Worse
you too,
than that, Kelly. Bono.
Yeah. Put the other ones on. The cheap
I
ones. The
don't
first
know.
ones. The
Well,
$10 ones.
All right. Not that I don't have a bunch of pairs of other stuff.
Elvis Costello right there, ladies and gentlemen.
The other thing, I mean, if you're looking for safety glasses, the other thing to really get ones that are anti-fog.
Yeah.
Because
put a coating on 'em.
maple seed, you're going to get down on your rifle and it's going to fog up. 3-gun, if it's raining and you're going to shoot, you're going to be breathing heavy and they're going to fog up at the exact wrong time. So that's like minimum. As soon as I went from regular shooting glasses to ones with anti-fog on them, I was like, holy crap, I never have to worry about fog again. So yeah, that's all I look for now. And thickness of the armature, because that's really nice when your ear cup sits on top of that.
The first pair of glasses that you had, the ones that make you look like Elvis Costello,
Yep.
were $10.
Yes.
The blue pair, ones with the blue lenses, how much was that?
$15. Yeah,
Okay,
15.
Said the Smith ones.
90. But these are like much nicer
Yeah.
glasses, right? Like those other ones are like crappy, I think Honeywell UVEX or something like that, which are like, they're fine for like throwaway. Like the ones I had, I've had them for about a year. I do a lot of shooting, and they're scratched up. And so be it. I'll throw them out. But these ones, I'm hoping they last a little bit longer. They have like a band you can put around your head if you want to look like a nerd. And they got some stickers and some anti-fog cloth. Oh, that's interesting.
So it's the same cloth that you'd get if you buy regular glasses. It cleans them so it won't scratch.
But it doesn't have the stuff on it.
Embedded with something, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
embedded with the anti-fog, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Anyways, I'll throw out the nerd strap because I don't need that on the back of my glasses to keep them from falling off.
Give them to the kids. Let them wear them to school.
Okay, I don't want my kids to get beaten up, but
If I'm gonna wear shooting glasses on the driver's stand with the other nerds, I should have a nerd strap on my.
Oh my
safety
God,
glasses.
yeah.
yes, yeah,
All right.
yeah. And then
And you're living in your basement, it looks like. So you're all set.
Yeah, well, I was doing stuff with things,
Yeah.
and I forgot what time it was.
yeah, and
So
then
this was just easier.
that 783. I tried relieving the
Do you
stock.
hate it yet?
A little bit, and I haven't even shot it yet.
Ah,
The reason why is that stock was not even close to free floated. So I free floated it. I sanded the inside of it, and it wasn't
wait,
even close.
The stock on the rifle that was advertised as free floated wasn't close to being free floated.
Not even in this century. No, not even
And
close.
tell us again who makes this gun. This is made by.
It's a little known manufacturer, Rustington. I think is their name.
Rustington.
Yes.
Yeah, chapter
cheap.
11 to 10.
It was cheap. It was cheap.
So am I, but I mean, I come as advertised.
Yeah,
Never on time.
This didn't. So I tried shimming the front action screw to get the barrel up and out of the channel so that it would
And how
free
did that
float it.
work?
It helped, but the stupid heavy barrel on this rifle, that the stock is like a wet noodle, and that heavy barrel on top is enough to just make the stock bend into it, and it still wasn't free floated. So I'm like, nope. I put a wanted to buy on CGN and wanted to buy like Rem 783 stock, something stiff. And like 2 days later, some guy's like, hey, I just my wife's rifle came with this super heavy stock, and I want to swap it. I want to sell it. So I got this Boyd's stock. This is their Pro Varmint or their tactical one. I can't remember.
Pro Varmint.
Yeah, it's stiff there, and it's got a huge barrel channel in there too, and it doesn't
Boyd's,
move.
and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is heavy though. This is
Yeah,
now
wow.
this was a heavy barrel 783, and it's a heavy barrel 783 with a heavy stock on it now.
Yeah. But at least it's not going to go, ooh.
And it's not going to touch. Like the problem is, like it's at 6.5 Creedmoor. I would like to shoot some long range with it. That'd be neat. Can't do it if the barrel is touching the stupid stock and won't give me any consistency. So
Well, it's well on its way now.
Yes, yeah, it's on its way now. I've got a 6-24 Citron on top there.
Perfect.
I have the Z-rings with a -10 and a +10 on the other side, or the other way around. So I'm getting
MOA.
20 MOA out of that. And
Nice
this thing
cone.
will also do 80 or 90 MOA in elevation. So I should be able to get out pretty far with this thing if I want to. I opted to take off my crazy flash hider on the front there because I'm going to hunt with this year, so I don't want it to do that. And other than that, put a cheek rest on it because even with that higher comb there, I still wasn't seeing through the scope. Well, I was thinking about stocks on my way back from picking up this stock. It's really a shame that there aren't more stocks out there that have add-on, like clip-on things that go on the top like they do at the back. Because the thing is, right now, all stocks are designed for the person with the fattest face shooting iron sights.
Yep.
And you can't go any higher than that because then they just can't use the rifle at all, right? Whereas everyone can put a cheek rest on, you're not going to have people like carving out the stock. But it's so stupid because even some iron sight rifles that I get, I put my face up to it and I'm still low on it, just with a proper cheek rest. So I think that more manufacturers should either have an adjustable comb with the 2 Allen keys on the side and you can move it up and down, or some sort of cheap clip-on system with plastic like clamshell, click it on top kind of a thing, because if you think of how many hunting rifles there are out there, how many of them have proper cheek rests, and how many of them have proper like rests for your face where you're on your cheek and not your chin? Probably like 5% of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably abysmally low. And anyways, if there are any manufacturers listening, that's a problem to solve. Figure that out.
Yep.
Get that on there. Yep. So I don't know. I gotta figure out which 180 I'm gonna run at competition. So what I really need to do is get out to a range and shoot that WS MCR times 300-400 rounds. Make sure my reliability is there. Make sure this thing's sighted in really well, and that it runs with the mags I've got, and make sure that I'm ready for the next 3-gun match, because my 3-gun match in September is that big one, and it's coming up quick. I don't think I won't have any weekends in between then and now. I'm going to have to head out to the range during a weekday and sight it in. Or something. I don't know. Anyways, that was what I was up to this week.
Cool. How about you, Kelly?
I did a bunch of stuff. I went to SFRC on Saturday because I haven't been there in like a month and a half. Withdrawal. No, it's only been about a month. Because of Maple Shades, I've been doing a lot of weekends away. Anyways, so went out. I didn't really pick up anything. I had to look around the store. They got a whole bunch of stuff in for hunting, but I wasn't able to pick anything up. I did get a resupply of 28 gauge though. So what else? Replacing. Spent a lot of time in the Maple Seed trailer, and I took out a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff from last year we didn't actually replace. We generally replace at the beginning of the year, but we were up full speed ahead. And so I spent part of the weekend just taking stuff out, getting rid of stuff, and just replacing. And then also replacing some of the stuff for other regions too. So I'm going to be sending some stuff out to Mr. Gallen and that. And then I also, because I've been so busy, I had to send out a few things and I forgot to send them out. So I took the time to send out, it was the rifles, a couple of rifles. So I sent those out to loaner rifles. I sent them out as well. I just sent out a whole bunch of stuff in the mail. So I was able to take some time and do that. Ontario Hunters Education, did a couple more chapters of that. And I'm pretty much almost done it, so I'm going to take the quiz, and then I will write the exam here. Look forward to that. Wednesday night. So yesterday, normal Wednesday night, it's my skeet night with Kelly. So we went out and I best one yet. I think I did 20 out of 25 clays, best of those, and great time.
That's pretty darn good, Kel.
It's a stress reliever. I said to Kelly, I said, okay, yeah, when we go, you need to say something to piss me off. Right?
Kelly,
What
am I?
I know,
If you need to get upset before Skeet, call me. Like, I'm here for you, Kelly.
I know.
I
Hey,
will be
Trevor.
more than happy
Hey,
to put you in the
Trevor.
right frame of mind.
Yeah. So I'm
before
shooting much better when I'm a little ticked off. So she said
Listen,
that
anytime.
okay. I know I can count on you.
100%. I got your back.
So 20 out of 25, so it was the best one yet. And
so that's your personal best. That's good.
Yeah. What else? I'm gonna go on Sunday with part of the girls from my tribe. We're gonna go shooting because we don't get to do a lot of shooting ourselves. Okay, yeah, I do skate nights on Wednesday, but pistol and rifle, still not doing a lot of it because we're doing maple seeds on the weekend. So on Sunday, I am going to go and shoot, and we're going to work on some pistol drills, and maybe I'll even shoot this month's target as well. So challenge target for maple seed. I'm looking forward to that. Renewed one of my range memberships, so I got that in the mail, and it's due in October, end of October, but they want them now. So, and they're not taking memberships, or they're not actually opening up the membership list. So, to anybody this year, first time ever. So I renewed that, and also making lots and lots and lots of calls. I'm spending a lot of time on the phone right now with people for maple seeds, with stuff for the CCFR, the Gunny Girl calendar, and all that. So but it's lots of fun, and I'm hoping probably by November things settle down a bit. But right now it's really fun.
I don't want things to settle down yet.
No,
I just got started.
Not yet. Yeah, we got started late. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That's about it. What about you, Trevor?
I went down to Fredericton for the weekend to see the boys and stay with Filthy. We got to the range super duper early on Sunday morning to sight in both our red dots. Filthy replaced his. Well, I put it on for him the night before. Anyway, at some point during the weekend, we replaced the loophole red dot on Filthy's Glock. He also shoots production optics with me. And as I talked about last week, I had to change the battery in my optic, and it was the battery for sure. It made a huge difference. But one of the stages, I didn't have it turned up quite high enough. But anyway, so Adriel was right. There was like literally 2 clicks. It was all I had to do. I would have had absolutely no problem shooting the entire match without having even verified it. So it's good to know that it's that close when I put it back on. It was shooting a little bit to, I can't remember, right or left, and just literally 2 clicks and it's good to go. But that's not the cool thing. The cool thing was Filthy's gun. We took the optic straight from the package, put it on Filthy's slide, locked it down, went to the range, and immediately from about 12 yards was piling them into a 1-inch group. Point of aim, point of impact were identical. I've never had that happen with any aiming device on anything, bow, gun, doesn't matter. Right from the box to perfectly zeroed. I'd never seen anything like it. It was pretty freaky, and I completely forgot about it until just now. So, and then we went and shot a really fun match. Like, Justin and the boys at Filthy's Club have got their IPSC game buttoned up tight. They do multiple start times, and they got 2 bays, 10 stages, 5 stages per bay, 2 squads at a time. You shoot your bay, then you go over to the next bay and switch with them, and then shoot that bay, and then get in your truck and go home. It's so freaking awesome. I started at 8:30, and by 12:30, I was already on my way back home.
Oh, I'm so
having
jelly.
Shot
that sounds so good.
10 stages, dude. Yeah, it's good. It's so good.
Did they have like resetters? Like who's doing the resetting for everyone else?
It's your squad. Yeah.
Holy, that's fast.
Yeah. Yeah. The other squad had a few more people than us, so they were when we got to the second bay, I believe they had just finished or just started their third shooter on their last stage. So we had to kill, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. It didn't matter. It went by fast. You were hanging out with your friends. It was nice weather. Like, it was like so not a thing. I think like the afternoon squad may have started somewhere like 30 minutes, maybe. Or maybe we made that time up. I can't remember. But I mean, there's no complaints. When you start at, rounds downrange at 8:30 and you're in your truck going home at 12:30 and you shot 10 stages, like, giddy up. And there were good stages too. I started off rough. Stage number 1, 8 rounds. I felt the need to do a mag change in between going from one position to the other. So that's super duper dumb. And then the strong hand stage, I decided it would be a good idea to shoot it with 2 hands, Kelly. It was fantastic. And Justin was like, get the jazz hands ready. I was like, well, what are you talking about, jazz hands? So sure enough, I'm shooting. You see in the videos going 1, 2, 3, jazz hands, all the procedurals. Yeah, so I zeroed that stage. That was super duper fun. I still won.
Oh, you were the shooter on that video.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh no, I was too intent on trying to figure out what was going on.
The guy in the video too skinny, like you couldn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Oh. My ass did look phenomenal in those shorts. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh God!
You said so yourself. Stop it. What else? That was it, really. No. Oh, there was one stage I was like super happy with. The rest were just like, okay, I survived. I won, but I think I only won because Eve's gun, he had a malfunction, something broke or whatever. He had a trigger group problem, and that cost him maybe on a big stage. So yeah, it sucks. You don't want to win that way. But 4th overall, maybe. But it's not a thing unless you win it, so it doesn't matter.
And it's not a thing if you win it and you're shooting open. Then it doesn't matter.
Then it really doesn't matter, yeah. But if you're PCC and you win overall, it matters to the open guys. I'll tell you that right now. They get all ipsic butthurt. All right, let's jump into upcoming events, which is sponsored by Telos Alpha. Telos Alpha is a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help them with business processes. Yeah, okay, that's right. I haven't read this 100 times. They help them with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchants, processors, and social media. Their mission statement: empower and enable our clients to grow, thrive, and ascend to their maximum contribution in the firearms industry. Underscores everything they do. They are firearms enthusiasts and understand firearms culture. They hold open webinars to help any firearms business get the edge and succeed, and are involved in the industry at all levels. They're committed to success and growth of the firearms community, culture, and lifestyle in Canada and the United States. You can learn more by going to telosalpha.com. So we have Maple Seed at Provost, August 22nd. Drumheller, September 3rd. Regina, September 10th. Bonnieville, I miss Bonnieville, September 26th, and the BTSA on October 3rd. Kelly, where's the, or Adriel, whoever, how do people sign up for these?
They can go to our website, mapleseedrifleman.com, and go and sign up there. All the ones that you just read are the ones that still have spaces available. I was checking them as you were reading through Telos Alpha. And there's other ones there as well, but those ones are sold out. We'll be adding more throughout the year as we're getting confirmation. Ontario events, notice there's none in Ontario. We are reaching out to Ontario, more Ontario ranges. So
that Drumheller one is only members right now. It'll be open to the regular public in a few days.
Okay, that's the reason I will remove that. Or, well, it doesn't really matter.
That's fine. People know it's coming up. It'll be open next week.
September 3rd is when it's going to be. What?
The moral of the story, Kitty Cats, is keep an eye on the Project Maple Seed website.
Yep.
Yeah. You can sign up for emails, notification.
Oh, excellent. There you go.
Once it's released to the public, you'll get the email notification. Hey, quick tip. If you are a Project Maple Seed... But just the tip. Yeah. If you are a Project Maple Seed member, that means that you went in onto our website and you bought a membership, you get first dibs.
What? Membership has its privileges.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why you become a member, kids.
Yeah.
All right. And if you want to get your ORPS game on, the Rescuers Gun Club has one on Saturday, August 22nd. Go to Practice Score for that. Miramichi has an Outlaw Rimfire Precision match as well on August 29th. Again, Practice Score. Chaz, 3-Gun Battle of Alberta, September 12th. One spot available. Okay, who's going to grab that spot? Tell them Slamfire sent you.
Can I say something about Ladies' Days? Thank you. The one that we announced last week for Winnipeg, it sold out in a matter of days. They were really surprised about it, but it's awesome to see women in Manitoba wanting to go and shoot. If anybody has a Ladies' Day that they would like to host, Rangers are starting to get back into the norm. So you can send me an email at their show and I'll set you up with respect to sponsorship if you're inquiring about that. So just let us know.
You've got like a document that says how to do it, and it's got like all the questions answered. Like whenever you have a question about like, I wonder if we should do this or this, if you look in the document, it's probably got the answer. You've thought about all the things in there. Makes it very easy.
It's like we've done it.
Yeah.
A lot. A lot. So yeah. Anyways, let me know. Send us an email and I'll try and help you out.
Cool. On to the news. So we have some updates for the listeners of gun clubs and organizations who have contributed to the CCFR Legal Defense Fund. And is that what we're calling it? Legal Defense Fund? No, that's not what we're calling it.
It's the legal
Offense Fund.
Yeah.
We're going on the
Charter
offense.
Challenge. It's
Right,
the Charter
yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah.
I think they're calling it the Legal Fund. I don't know what they're calling it.
We will...
I'll look.
No,
Yeah,
I won't.
okay.
Just
no.
CCFR
All
legal
right.
thing.
The Dryden Rifle and Pistol Club has donated $3,610. Thank you very much, Dryden Rifle and Pistol Club. North Mountain Gun Club, $2,227. Slamfire Radio and its listeners, $1,000. So thank you to the Slamfire Radio listeners and Slamfire Radio.
Hey, can I ask a question about that?
No.
I'm going to ask it anyways.
Really? Color me shocked. Go for it. What's your question, Kelly?
Well, it's not really a question. It's more like a challenge. I'd like to challenge all of the other podcasts.
Can I ask a question?
To the same.
But it's not really a question?
Statement. It's a statement.
It's a statement. The statement
I would like to issue a challenge to all the other podcasts. You're welcome. Go for it. Issue your challenge.
You just did it for me.
Podcast listeners.
I didn't
Listeners
say-
or
I know.
podcasts?
I didn't.
Podcast.
Both.
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 Okay. Well, if it's both, that means more money. So.
I think listeners challenge listeners, podcasters challenge podcasters.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I just tried to help you with the wording because you were like tripping on your tongue and stuff. So you go ahead. You go ahead and challenge.
No, I basically said.
You didn't say nothing. You did.
Okay.
I did. Blah, 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 blah. You going to challenge them now or what?
I just did, and you just did.
No, you didn't actually. You didn't say I'm challenging all the other Pro Gun podcasts
If
to
you
match
were,
our donation of
You need to get some
$1,000.
gloves.
Now
I
it's
need
been
to
said.
slap the other podcasts in the face
Right.
for it to be a legitimate
Drop it.
challenge.
Yes.
Or drop
I
What
them.
I'm doing,
challenge.
Kelly, is I'm helping get you in a mental state for your next trap session. Is it working?
not really, because it's not trap, it's ski.
Damn.
But okay.
Whatever. That's
Even
part of
that
pissing
should
you
help.
off.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
even
all
get the
part
name
of
of
it.
the game that you're losing at right.
Trevor,
Okay, so yes, Kelly.
shut up.
So, so Slamfire Radio has donated $1,000. We'd like to challenge all the other podcasts to match or exceed our donation. There's only one problem, Kelly. I don't know if there are any other pro gun podcasts left in Canada, and if there are, I promise they don't listen.
Canadian Patriot, right?
They don't listen to us, so they're never going to hear this channel.
Okay. I think that Paul from Newfoundland, you're watching right now. Issue one to him.
They're doing that buys something frog buys show.
Well, you know what? They kind of actually already did step up a little bit because it's the next thing that you're going to be reading. I think they participated in that too.
Well, that's the Newfoundland provincials. I mean,
Yeah, they were there, weren't they?
well, it doesn't mean that their podcast donated anything. It means that the match donated money. So,
Anyways,
Trevor?
podcast.
Kelly.
Donate some money.
there you go.
Done. Beat us.
All right. Yeah, shame us. It'd be like those bums over at Slamfire only did $1,000. This is why we're better than you, because everything's a
pleb tier.
contest. Yeah, right. Pleb tier. Okay, so the IPSC Newfoundland 2020 provincial handgun match in St. John's at the Rod and Gun Club, they donated $720. So good for them, coughing up some money raised at the match. Excellent. All right, and we have a new sponsor for New Gun Stuff. This segment is brought to us by Bolt Action Coffee. Slamfire Radio is now a proud ambassador for Bolt Action. Are we of Bolt Action Coffee or for Bolt Action Coffee? Four.
I don't know.
I can
Tomato, right?
I don't think so. Is now a proud ambassador of Bolt
Go buy some coffee. Go buy some Bolt Action Coffee. BoltActionCoffee.com.
We believe in supporting Canadian companies, especially those who are part of and give back to the farms community. The partnership is one that we felt was a good match because we're not reading this every week.
No, we can shorten it.
Yes. Yeah. BoltActionCoffee.com.
And okay.
New Gun Stuff. Adriel, take it away.
Should I start with the one I was supposed to do last week? The Henry Lever Action X?
You mean that Dave was so excited about? Yes.
Here it is. You guys can't see it. The listeners can. It's a plastic Henry. So, I mean, Mossberg was doing this. Mossberg was doing the tactical lever actions, and now Henry's doing it too.
Mossberg was so much worse, though.
Yeah.
Foolishness. This is just black with a small piece of Picatinny.
I kind of like that style too. That's similar to what was on that Winchester Wildcat, because the Picatinny on plastic, you can put a bipod on, and that leaves your sling stud for your sling, so you don't rip your stupid sling stud off putting a bipod on it. Not that you really need a bipod on a 45-70 to begin with. Maybe you could put a flashlight on there or a laser. Is anyone hurting? No? Am I hurting anyone's feelings?
Yes. You are hurting my lever action feelings.
Good. Yep.
Don't put wood on an AR and don't put plastic on a lever action. The rules are simple, people.
Not only that, it's got fiber optic rear and front sights, so it's got that 3-dot mess. I prefer just the fiber on the front and black rears, and 3 is a bit much. But
you want to tell them how much this abortion costs?
Well, it's right in front of them. It's $1,200. Oh yeah, I guess for audio listeners, it's $1,200, and that's for a 45-70 with plastic stock and whatnot on it. So
it could be your jam. Who am I to judge? Trevor Furlot. That too. If you buy it, you're wrong.
I'm more excited about this next one.
Me too.
I really like this one. The SIG Cross rifle. So it's like a precision rifle. It's got like a precision stock on it, that kind of thing. A fully adjustable stock. It's a bolt action that kind of looks like one of those tube rifles with the AR style forend, AR style grip. Really lightweight. So for a lot of these precision rifles, they're heavy. This guy is 6.5 pounds. That is nice because, again, like it would be nice to use like a Ruger Precision or something like that for hunting, but they're so heavy. This guy's 6.5 pounds is a hunting rifle. Check a scope on that. Good to go.
A precision bolt action rifle in a chassis that weighs as much as an AR-15, but is in 308 or bigger.
308, 6.5 Creedmoor, or 277 SIG Furry, I think is what it's called. I think that's SIG Furries. Yeah, that's for furries. Yeah.
If you're a furry, that's your caliber. They finally, it's about being an inclusive society, and the furries now have their own caliber. I support this.
Yes. Yep. SIG makes it for you. This is a really neat rifle. If you wanted
Where did Kelly go? Did Kelly rage quit?
I don't know. She's right there. She's there.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I don't see her.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's a pretty neat little rifle. Lightweight. I didn't see the price. Now I'm scared.
I'm sure it's inexpensive. It's a SIG.
At 2,175. That's not bad. Like, because the Ruger Precision is what, 1,500. But like the Ruger Precision has like a plasticky stock, and there's like
more than that, bud.
Ruger Precision rifle?
Yeah, I've seen them as high as 17, 18, unless they've come down. But regardless, it's not bad.
Not bad at all.
I've got more than that in my build, and it's not this good.
Yeah. So Precision Optics has that. They're a Canadian retailer, so that's very neat. And they come in black or camo. They got a camo pattern. That won't work anywhere I hunt, but it's kind of neat anyways.
Yeah. Black is the new camo.
Yeah.
All right. What's this next thing from Delask?
I thought this was kind of funny. Delask has a bunch of forgings. So if you want an AR forging, either the upper or lower, they got them for sale. It's just a forging. They're not milled out or anything like that. They're just a chunk of aluminum. But really neat paperweight.
And the bottoms too?
Yep, both uppers and lowers.
How can you be allowed to buy that if you can't buy an 80%?
I don't know. It's not an 80%. If it's pure, just a slug of aluminum, that's a forging. It's not an 80%.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know, what do you call that? 20%? 10%? You'd have to finish like everything on that. The outside would be fine, but you'd still need to mill out everything inside. You still need to do final finish. Now there's like a 10%. I mean, one of the things I saw said, we're not allowed anything up to like a block of aluminum. So if you follow that line of thinking, this would be banned, but I think it's fine. I think it'll be fine. Anyways, those are out too.
They cost how much?
I didn't look at the price.
$799. Kidding.
$45 each for the uppers, or $400 for a 10-pack if you want a 10-pack of them.
That's what it is. It's 50 a piece or 10 for $450.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Are you looking at the lowers or the uppers? Because the
lowers.
Okay, so the uppers are $45 each, or $400 for 10.
Delask Arms does not give instructions, advice, or coaching on how to complete these, so please do not ask. Note, these AR-15 lower forgings are in the white and are not a gun. No paperwork or PAL is required to purchase them. All local laws should be followed, and it's up to you to find out what those laws are. Before you complete the lower, know what the laws are in your jurisdiction to prevent being in violation of the law.
It's just a paperweight.
Yep.
It's just a paperweight.
Wowzers. All right. Okay, let's move into the main topic.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the main topic. This week we have Grey Birch Solution on with us. One of the people that are representing Grey Birch is Steve Huck. Steve, are you the founder or the
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you're one of the founders for Grey Birch Solutions.
That's right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What exactly is Grey Birch Solutions, and with respect to firearms, and how'd you get started?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much for the opportunity to join you guys. So we're excited to kind of be participating in the firearms community in Canada. So actually, Grey Birch started back in late 2018 into early 2019. But the company was kind of officially created towards the end of 2019. And probably similar to how most companies start, we were hobbyists, right? And we still are hobbyists. We shoot a lot of rimfire with our family and friends. We've had a chance to try out a lot of different products. We've kind of figured out what we like and what we don't like, where there's some gaps in the marketplace. Rimfire attracts us, greatly because not only is it economical, but it kind of takes us back to a time that we enjoyed so much in our lives. Shooting guns with our dads and grandfathers, and now we do the same with our young kids. So, rimfire, in our opinion, is one of the funnest and most enjoyable rounds to shoot. So, we have a strong desire to be outdoors in nature, having fun with family and friends, which kind of led us down the path of kind of starting the company. So, in launching the company, we kind of asked ourselves a few questions. What are the limits, for example, of a semi-auto rimfire rifle? How accurate can we make a semi-auto rimfire rifle? How far can we accurately shoot a semi-auto rimfire rifle? How light and compact can we make a semi-auto rimfire rifle? So you probably see a pattern there. We're really interested in semi-auto rimfire rifles. That's kind of, as hobbyists, what we've enjoyed, shooting and plinking with the most, which obviously kind of evolved and led us down the path to launching the company. But, we wanted to focus on, technology, using unique materials, weight reduction, and kind of stretching the performance of a semi-auto rimfire as far as we could take it.
Okay. So you founded your own company. You went out and you bought the factory, or did you actually... Are you making the product, in other words?
Yeah, so great question. So unlike, most like small businesses that start up, we're self-funding our business. So, we don't have millions of dollars to own a machine shop. So we do utilize, partnerships across the greater Toronto area. Where we decided to invest our money actually is in engineering and inspection equipment. So we invested in something called a Keyence IM system. So it's a laser measurement system that measures instantly to CMM tolerances. We invested in a high-end 3D printer, a high-end multi-axis fiber laser, and we wanted to focus on inspection and prototyping equipment because that's where we believe we're going to see the greatest benefit to consistently making a solid product.
Okay. What is your background? Is your background in machining, or is it?
No. Well, I consider myself a professional plinker.
Okay.
But no, my background is in sales. I don't have a machining background. We obviously utilize experts. We've got a really bright engineer that we work with that's got a lot of great experience on the engineering side. He brings a lot of great ideas from a design perspective. So we believe we have the right mix of guys at Great Birch to kind of develop and design the products. And obviously utilizing the testing equipment ensures that there's consistency across batches, making sure the product getting out the doors is as good as it can be delivered.
Okay. So you started in 2018, but when did you actually start delivering product? And we're going to talk about the product that you have available in a minute, but when did you start actually shipping it out?
Yeah, so we actually took a time kind of developing the products, and we went through multiple iterations. Like I said, we highly utilized our 3D printer. So we took a better part of 2018 into 2019, developing the product. And we actually planned on launching, kind of did a soft launch towards 2020. We had signed up for a couple of trade shows. We were going to attend EWA in Germany, as well as the Toronto Sportsman Show. And obviously, the whole
COVID
put on hold. Right? So that kind of derailed our plans a little bit from a launch perspective. So we've almost kind of been in soft launch mode ever since. So, we are shipping product now. So we started shipping product, earlier on in 2020. We've been shipping product as 2020 has gone along. Obviously, COVID's affected everyone in the world. So, but we've launched the company product shipping today.
Okay. So Steve, tell me about your product line. What product's available right now, and where are you looking to go with it as well?
Sure. So what we decided to launch the company with is a couple different models of receiver for the 1022 platform, as well as a couple barrels. So we've got 3 models to choose from. We've got the CLR, which is our classic receiver. And it's basically your standard run-of-the-mill drop-in receiver. Comes with an integrated Picatinny rail, but it's a pretty basic drop-in receiver. We've also got what we call our LDR, which is the long distance ready receiver. So similar to the CLR, although that comes with an integrated 20 MOA rail on it, kind of gives a little bit of distance, availability on the receiver if that's what you're into, a little bit of distance and precision.
20 MOA is like pretty reasonable. Like you can most scopes will work with that and still be able to zero at short range. And it'll add quite a bit to most scopes as well.
Yeah, exactly what we were thinking. So we've got the CLR, the LDR, and then actually one of the receivers is a bit more unique, and we're calling it the RDR, which is a red dot ready receiver. So
I saw that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool little receiver. So I don't know about you guys, but my plinking rifle has a red dot on it permanently, right? So I've thrown an aimpoint T2 on my plinking rifle, and that's kind of what I run, which is kind of what led us down the path of creating this RDR receiver. And it kind of allows a red dot to be installed directly to the receiver without needing a rail. So we use a similar plating system to a very popular pistol on the market. The receiver comes with 3 plates that will accommodate majority of the most popular red dots on the market. It kind of allows you to get your reduce your height over bore, and kind of gets that red dot connected to the receiver as close as possible. And that's kind
real
of
low. Yeah. Because even adding that like little 1/2 inch or whatever plus your riser on the red dot,
it's really
you need a cheek rest. But with this, you might not. You might be able to get away with just running a regular stock, just because of like that plate goes in the receiver. It's right in there.
That's right. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, a lot of guys are interested in it. Race gun is getting more popular.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were trying to design a lightweight, compact, highly maneuverable platform with that one. So, I think it fits the bill nicely.
So you have the different receivers, but you also have the receiver plate that you were just talking about. You sell that separately as well.
We do, yeah. So we're going to offer the 3 receiver plates separately. I say 3, but actually there's a couple more. So we're also making a plate specifically for the acro, for the aimpoint acro. Okay. And a plate's also coming that'll accommodate the aimpoint T1, T2. So we'll probably at the end of the day have 5 plates. We might even do a few plates for the SIG optics. But all of our plates are compatible with that very popular pistol platform that I mentioned earlier. So if you've got one of those, our plates will work fine, work well, or they can be used obviously with our RDR receiver.
They match with a pistol that rhymes with block. Okay.
Read between the lines. Yeah. Let's also talk about your barrels that you have available, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about matching the receiver and the barrel and different things like that.
Sure. Yep. So we've got 2 barrels available to the market today. Both barrels are 1022 compatible. So we decided to launch with carbon fiber options. Barrel number 1 is 12.5 inches in length, specifically made for the 1022. And then we also launched a 16.1 inch carbon fiber barrel also for the 1022. That 16.1 barrel will also be available for a couple more platforms in the not too distant future. The Tikka T1X, the CZ 455, 457, as well as the Savage A22, B22.
Awesome. That's awesome. So carbon wrap fiber, their lifetime of the barrel, what do you think? How many rounds?
And
weight?
Rimfire doesn't, create the same pressures as center fire. So longevity wise, we don't know yet what these barrels will do, to be honest with you. We've got thousands and thousands and thousands around through our early barrels with no signs of wear. We launched the barrels using, a 416 stainless steel. With the carbon fiber, it's a filament wound solid core carbon barrel. We use pre-preg carbon fiber, which kind of ensures the carbon fiber gets an even distribution of resin. This process kind of ensures there's uniformity in the curing process, so it's a very consistent barrel. We use a standard 22 LR chamber, not the sporter or the match chamber. With the bull barrel profile, 116 rifling. 1/2 inch by 28 thread, also comes with a thread protector.
Awesome. Okay. So where are these barrels and receivers available? Are they available at retailers, or are you ordering directly from you, or?
Yeah, so we've got a couple different go-to-market avenues. So our web store at www.graybirchsolutions.com will be open for business very, very soon. Actually, hopefully this week, might push to next week. So our products will be available directly on our website. Okay. We've also partnered with MD Charlton in Canada. So if there are any dealers out there that are interested in carrying Gray Birch products, please reach out to MD Charlton, as well as we've kept 2 house accounts, we call them. On the West Coast, we're working directly with Sylvester Sporting Goods.
Yep.
And on the East Coast, we work directly with SFR Ski.
Yeah, my favorite store. It's right down the road.
Well, Sylvester's a good choice out west here because they have a bunch of Volquarts and stuff, and they've got a bunch of those kind of parts out there. So yours would fit really nicely with that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've used Volquartsen for many years. They make a fantastic product for sure. Obviously, us coming into the market, we're hoping we can, provide some value with our product as well. But yeah, Volquartsen makes fantastic products. All of their products will be compatible with ours as well, and vice versa.
Okay, so let's talk value. What's the price points on these MSRP? And they are, let's be real, they're a little higher. But why would they choose your barrels over somebody else's, or your receivers over somebody else's as well?
Sure. So, like I said, we've spent a lot of time and money on inspection equipment. So why we've done that is for this exact reason. So we want to make sure that the products that we ship are consistent from batch to batch.
Okay.
Right. So how companies get good reputations is consistency over a long period of time. Right. So we want to make sure that our product is top quality and consistent from batch to batch, which is why we've invested so heavily in our inspection equipment. So yes, our price points are not the most inexpensive. They're not the most expensive. Typically, when we launch a product, we do a lot of research in the market, what's out there. We did a lot of research. Who's making rimfire carbon fiber barrels? What are the price points? Where is the value to price ratio? Right. If the value is super high and the price is super high, it's probably a pretty good product. Sometimes you deal with the price, sometimes you don't. If the value is low and the price is high, it's probably a poor combination. If the value is high and the price is reasonable, you've got a really nice combination there. So that's kind of where we've tried to target is put out a solid product at a reasonable price point, and we hope that obviously that customers feel the same way.
Yeah. Are you trying to actually capture right now? The rimfire market is really, really hot, especially with CRPS, ORPS, the race guns, as you were mentioning. Are you trying to actually capture that market where people they're okay with buying something that has a little bit more expensive? And by the way, it's not outrageous pricing, but it's as you said, it's value pricing, and they're going to get a good product for it.
That's right. One of the ways to look at being a new company into the market is, we can only go one way, and that's up, right? So when you have no market share and you're launching a company, growing your market share is the trajectory you want to go. So absolutely, the precision market, absolutely, we love what we're doing with the Grassroots and Project Maple Seed and some of those organizations. Our barrels are lightweight, are accurate, and are priced reasonable, and we're going to be launching them for a couple of different platforms. So, that's the goal, right? Is to try to grab some market share. Some of these platforms that we're launching the barrels for don't have a carbon fiber option at this point, so there'll be some value there, I think, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Why don't we actually talk a little bit more about your product line and what you see for the future? And then I actually will like to talk to you a little bit about Project Maple Seed and your sponsorship as well. So right now you have the barrels and the receivers. What's coming up in the future?
Sure. So I think the natural evolution, now that the receivers are kind of finalized out to market, the barrels are out to market, next phase is we're going to be launching a couple rifle models. So we are going to launch 2 models to start. We're going to put together an RDR rifle model and an LDR rifle model. So the RDR will obviously come with the RDR receiver. It'll come with the 3 plates. It'll come with a 12.5-inch carbon barrel. It'll come with a Grey Birch bolt, a Grey Birch V block, and we're going to package the rifle up in the Magpul X22 stock, as well as with a Timney single-stage trigger.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that'll be the RDR. model, and the LDR model is basically the LDR receiver. It'll come with the 16.1-inch barrel.
Yep.
It'll come with a Grey Birch bolt, Grey Birch V block. That'll also come in the Magplex 22 stock, and that'll come with the Timney 2-stage trigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, that's really nice stuff, actually.
It kind of makes sense, right? You got the accessories, you got the receiver, the barrel, the bolt is right around the corner. It kind of makes sense to put a couple rifle packages together and see how it goes.
Yeah, it does make sense. And if I was building another rifle, that's kind of what I would put together with it. So we'll talk afterwards. Anyways, the feedback that I've heard from some people who've already ordered and already delivered, they've got their product delivered to them. They think that the barrels have been performing fantastic as well as the receivers. So the feedback has been fantastic, and it's been really positive. So that's good to hear. Now you did talk about actually helping out or sponsoring. It's not helping out. It's actually sponsoring Project Maple Seed. Tell us a little bit about that. You're starting to give back to the community. And it's one of the ways that you can get your product known. But tell us about your partnership with us.
So we decided very early on that we were not going to put any of our money, basically our marketing dollars, into any traditional marketing, but we wanted to focus on supporting grassroots shooting in Canada. So, Project Maple Seed for us was a really easy decision. We got in contact with Rick, quite a while ago now, and kind of one thing led to another. And it became very, very clear to us that, Maple Seed was an amazing organization. We loved what we were doing with the grassroots of shooting in Canada. I mean, how critical is it right now that these programs exist in today's climate, right? We need to be introducing, young people to shooting, just like I was, with my dad and grandfather, just like I'm doing with my young kids. We need to get out there and introduce shooters and grow the sport. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to be able to shoot in this great country for many, many years. And I think investing in the grassroots of shooting is a critical step to that.
I agree. It's good to know that a Canadian company is also supporting that as well. You guys are a Canadian company. You're here.
we are a Canadian company, yes.
Yeah. So it's really important. Yeah. So thanks for that. But it's also one way that we can actually get your name out there and your product, get some knowledge about your product out there. Word of mouth.
Continue to support the program. We're gonna donate as much as we can donate to prize tables and things like that. Support the instructors. We're gonna continue to support and try to increase that over time for sure.
Yeah. And obviously, we're going to try and help you out as well with spreading the word, but also buying your product and also letting other people try it as well. So see how fantastic it is. Do you want to actually tell us about how, if people are interested, one, if they're retailers and they want to sell your product, or two, if they actually have questions or get in contact with you, and all that social media stuff, you're everywhere. I do know that. So
so we've got Instagram account, Facebook account. Like I said, our website has been going through some changes. It'll be ready to go with a web store this week. If anyone wants to contact us directly, they can contact us at sales@greybirchsolutions.com. If any dealer is interested in carrying our products, they can reach out to MD Charlton directly, or they can reach out to us, and we can kind of make the introduction.
Awesome. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to tell everybody about, or?
Maybe I'll just quickly touch on what's next after the rifle.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
perfect. Okay.
We've talked about the accessories. We've talked about kind of the natural evolution into the rifle models. We're actually working on a chassis system. So we the foundation chassis system. And this, in our mind, is an evolution from the accessory world into a complete rifle system that we're working on. And when I say rifle system, I don't mean the rifles that I just mentioned previously, a ground-up rifle system. So the foundation is a modular micro chassis built for Grey Birch accessories, but also 1022 compatible. It's fully modular. It'll be customizable Building short, light race gun up to, precision rifle stability. It'll have multiple forend models, long or short forends. Both forends will be M-LOK and Arca Swiss compatible. There'll be multiple shoulder stock options, everything from a folding shoulder stock pistol brace to adjustable precision stock or a fixed stock. It'll accept, AR style pistol grip. So we're kind of going to be launching three flavors to start. The minimalist, I guess, is basically just the foundation chassis system itself with no stock or forend. It'll kind of come with a rear Picatinny mount, which is kind of like the industry standard for bufferless rifle systems. It'll be compatible, for example, with SIG stocks and things like that. And then model number 2 will be kind of like the chassis with the folding shoulder stock with no forend. And then the full system is the chassis with the folding shoulder stock and a forend. And all of this will kind of be customizable on our website. So end users can kind of determine what system they want to put together. So why we kind of evolved to this is obviously we think it's a natural evolution from the accessories to the rifle system. But there's a ton of people out there with lots of spare parts in their bins, right? And I know I'm one of them. I could probably build 5 more guns with my spare parts, right? So, pick up a chassis, throw some of your existing parts in it, and you can build yourself a sweet little package, and that's what the foundation will kind of accommodate.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
When do you actually? So you were talking about the rifles when those were, but you didn't tell us when you think those will be available. What about the chassis? When do you see that?
So the rifles that I mentioned previously, those will actually be available quite soon. So those will be, we're going to call it Q4 2020. Okay. We're trying to get those out in the next kind of month and a half to 2 months. Okay. The chassis will be actually pretty close to that as well. So we should be launching this chassis within the next couple of months. I'm comfortable saying Q4 2020 as well.
That's awesome. That's actually a lot faster than I predicted. So
I'm going to tease you with one other thing as well.
Okay.
So, we've been working on a technology that we've kind of codenamed D2. So I mentioned we're working on a kind of a ground up rifle. So semi-auto rimfire is kind of where our interest is, where we want to specialize in. And the plan is to launch a rifle system that kind of initially is going to launch on the 17 HMR caliber. So we're going to launch a semi-auto 17 HMR, and then we're going to move on to the 17 WSM and 22 Magnum, both in semi-auto configurations. So the technology we're working on, obviously these rounds, especially the 17 WSM and 22 Magnum, have inherently been a fairly dangerous round. I know a couple other manufacturers have launched rifles that they pulled off the market. So, we're working on some technology that is going to solve that issue. So,
the 17 WSM is super interesting because it's the same price as 17 HMR, but it's got a lot more performance. Yeah. That's a really interesting round. And there's not very many rifles available for it. There's a Savage B-Mag, which is kind of a pile of crap. And there's a couple of other ones out there that are better, but cost a lot more. Like I think Ruger makes one. And I think there's a falling block that Winchester might make, but it's also like $1,000 for a falling block 17 WSM. So
right. Yeah. So we're going to continue to innovate. So I mean, innovation is something that that we want to pursue, right? So we want to try to solve a few issues on some of these platforms and hopefully bring a really reliable, safe rifle to the market. So we expect to have something ready to show for March 2021. So spring 2021 is kind of the plan to at least unveil the 17 HMR platform, and then we'll move on to the other to the 17 WSM and 22 Magnum, like I mentioned, probably later in 2021.
That's exciting.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah. That's so exciting.
We're trying to push, right? We're trying to push the semi-auto platform as far as we can take it, right? So, bolt action, rimfire, the bolt action guys are the ones setting distance records and accuracy records. And we're going to continue to ask the question, how far can we take the semi-auto platform? Can we compete with the bolt action guys? A similar movement happened kind of in the 308 market, right, where bolt action was kind of the standard, and they moved to a semi-auto version with the AR-10. So why can't we take semi-auto as we can?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. You're talking about performance. So you've already been testing this. How far out have you been going
with which platform?
With your barrels and your receiver. So your long range.
1022.
1022.
So in our 1022 platform, so we've taken it out 400 yards, 300-400 yards. We've got customers out there that have taken it out 300-400 yards pretty consistently, but that's nothing compared to what we're seeing some of the bolt action guys do, right? You've heard of those 1,045-yard hits, right? So we got a bit of ways to go in the semi-auto platform. We're going to be interested in what our customers can do. We'll definitely be running some contests and things like that for furthest hits and things like that. We want to try to stretch the platform out as far as we can. So yeah, we're excited for the challenge, and we'll see how it goes in the next little while.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks so much for coming on. Super excited about not only the partnership with Project Maple Seed, but also super excited about all those things that you've been talking about and introducing some new stuff into the Canadian market. This is really exciting, especially semi-autos.
Yeah, that red dot one's interesting because you could get like one of them really little pistol red dots on there, and it would be so inconspicuous. A lot of the red dots that you get that go onto a rail are kind of big, not big compared to an optic, but big compared to like no optic and just running iron sights. And a pistol red dot would, oh boy, that would get small. That would get real small.
I run an RMR. I run an RMR on my RDR. So as light as you can get, as low profile as you can get, it's a pretty sweet little rifle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Super interesting stuff.
One more quick thing.
Sure.
I mentioned to hit our website. So we're going to be doing some offers that'll be kind of our web store exclusive offers. So we've been working really closely with Sean at Red Tower. He's a Cerakote wizard. And we've been actually kind of working with him to develop our own camo pattern. So what he's actually successfully done is he's one of the first, if not the first, to multi-layer Cerakote over carbon fiber and using carbon as one of the colors in the camo pattern. So we've got some interesting designs coming out. Some of our receivers and barrel combos will be offered on the website with the camo pattern, exclusive on the Grey Birch website. So look for that in the very near future as well.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, he does some great job. He does a great job.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. With Cerakoting. All right. Thanks so much again, Steve, for coming on and talking about Grey Birch Solutions. Check them out at their web store. Again, when are you going to be launching the web store, do you think?
Web store should be ready to go either this week or next. So let's see, by the end of next week, to be safe, we'll be ready to go.
Okay.
Awesome.
So greybirchsolutions.com, right?
That's it. Yeah. Thanks so much for all your support. Thanks for having us this evening just to kind of chat through the company and the products. And we look forward to getting the product out there and hearing everyone's feedback.
Thanks again to Grey Birch for coming on. Great job with the interview, Kelly. Listener feedback.
I pulled a couple questions out of the Facebook when they
Awesome.
were asking them. Does anyone have any experience with the HoloSun 507C? I have some experience with the 407. I had about a Dave experience with it, and then I put it in the mail. And I sent it to Captain Andy. It was neat. It's a neat optic.
Did you try it out? No.
Yeah, I turned it on. I looked at it.
Turn it on?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see.
Looked like a little circle. The 407 is $100 cheaper, and instead of a dot, it's an 8 MOA circle, which for what I do, close enough. And I guess you can kind of see through the middle, but not really. And whereas the 507 has a couple of different settings on it. It's a cheap optic, though. It's not like a Trijicon. It's not like some of the other ones out there. The reason why I got that instead of a Vortex is that the Vortex lifetime on the battery was not good, and the lifetime on this battery was 50,000 hours, I think. So it'll last for years, whereas that Vortex one, you'd have to change it quite often. I don't really like that idea. I prefer the idea of turning on a red dot at the start of the day and running it all day.
Cool. What else?
Plan.
Trevor, do you want to take the next one?
Nope.
Okay.
Skip that one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think so. Someone commented there's a company that makes Ear Pro with pads that are indented for glasses. There are some stick-on ones. Oh, I wish I could think of. I did a video review of them. They work with the Howard Light Sport Impacts. They're like stick-on ones. They've got like a groove on the top for your iPro so your iPro don't sit on your ear. Instead, they sit on the Ear Pro. But they've got like a groove along the top there, so you maintain your seal with them. And those are all right. Those work too. Yeah.
Do you remember who they were? No.
I'd have to go on my YouTube channel and look.
No. I think it was last summer that you did it. I'm pretty sure. So
how far would I need to find those?
If people are looking for, you did a really good review. Like you did a lot of them, so.
Pretty complete on some of those Ear Pro ones, just because I don't know. Like there's not a lot of really good shooting ones out there. You know, one thing, noise fighters, gel cups, noise fighters is what they called. What we should do for a show is iPro, get like real deep on iPro, because there's a lot of stuff we could talk about there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Anyways, that's it for Facebook.
All right, so let's get into our regular listener feedback, which is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot blowing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearm accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. You can also follow him on Facebook and on the Instagrams. The first one comes to us from Josh V. Hi, guys. I'm wondering, in your opinion, who the big three scope manufacturers are in Canada. Like as in Canadian, or because they would be the same big three as anywhere else in the world because they're the big three. But does he mean specifically a Canadian manufacturer, do you think?
There's no Canadian manufacturers of
scopes, there is none. But also big three, or it depends on what he's trying to do with that too.
Who do you guys buy scopes from?
Vortex usually.
Vortex, Loophole, and those are only two I use. But I mean, what are the big three? I mean, if
Bushnell's in there, Vortex, Bushnell, Nikon,
because
not
they
any
produce
longer.
them. Like, how are we determining if they're big? Because they pump out a lot of volume. So Tasco, I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
Well, what's the criteria here?
Well, for Bushnell's lower quality stuff, I would agree with you. Tasco, you throw them in there as well. But Bushnell also has like their Elite series, which were like Bosch and Lone before, and they're pretty good. Right.
Yeah.
They're
but
not
if you're
Vortex.
looking at something a little bit more budget, you could look at a Covenant, Cabela's Covenant, which is not bad, which is a Vortex with a different label on it.
Yep.
So,
100%.
and then, but if you're looking at something like a little bit more precision base, you got
all sorts of stuff to look at. Those wouldn't be in the top three, though. Top three would be Vortex, Bushnell, and
Loophole.
Yeah, Loophole.
Okay.
And so those are scopes, right?
Also, scopes can be confusing for new shooters. Is there a resource that you have seen which is designed like a questionnaire to help you choose the right scope based on your shooting habits? Yes, you go to the website and you read the features that each scope provides and the recommendations of what it's used for. Also, when you think you found a scope that you like, you go to YouTube and you look for a review on it.
But like the problem with optics are like you get so many numpties that just don't know. Like there's so many people.
You can wade through it, man. Oftentimes, manufacturers have their own reviews. They have their own videos.
I would rather watch a manufacturer review than some guy reviewing us. Like the problem is that YouTube's got too many people who have like a scope that they only own one scope.
Oh, I get it, man.
And they do a review of it, and they don't know anything.
But Vortex has its own channel. So
I would watch a Vortex video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lastly, when should you switch from a scope to a red dot? When should you switch from a car to a truck? A car does a car thing and a truck does a truck thing. You don't switch from one to the other. It's not how it works. Is it based on caliber or distance?
Well, kind of. So, like
Yes,
for
yeah.
3-gun, would you run a red dot or a scope? It would
I would
depend
run
on
a red dot on my pistol and a scope on my rifle.
It would depend on the max distance. If you're shooting 200 and in, you don't need that scope on your rifle. It's a hindrance. A red dot on your rifle for 200 and in would be better.
Okay, so here's my take on it, and it's my take, and I'll explain the rationale. I use a variable power scope that goes from 1 to 8 with an illuminated red dot. So on 1 power, or illuminated reticle, on 1 power, it functions as a red dot. I just put the red over the target and make it go away. If I need to shoot out to distance, I dial up some magnification, I shoot up to distance. With a red dot, it's a one-trick pony. You can shoot distance with a red dot, yes, but nowhere near as accurately as you can with a scope.
Yeah.
And you don't have any eye relief to worry about at all. So if you're underneath a
when
truck...
your scope is at 1 power, you don't have to worry about eye relief either.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can't have. You have to have your cheek at the same spot.
Well,
so if you're underneath
where it belongs.
Yes, put your cheek where it belongs. But until you're like under a truck or over a railing and you're trying to make a shot, that's like
but that's the one-off. Like you're not going to pick your equipment based on that one time you may be shooting under a truck.
That's why I shoot a red dot. So I don't have to worry about my equipment ever. I just run, because I was running TAC Ops before. I was running a scope on my rifle, but I found that like unless I needed like something super precise, which I don't for 3-gun, the red dot is more like a truck, more like a pickup truck.
You do you. You have your reasons why you choose a red dot overall. I have reasons why I choose a scope with an illuminated reticle. Yeah,
and now Josh has heard both of those from us. He's got both viewpoints.
I have seen a 22, for instance, with a red dot, and I have also seen a similar 22 with a multi-$1,000 scope. When they're using those same 22, the optic is determining what it's being used for. The guy with the $1,000 scope is not shooting the same distance as the guy with the red dot, and vice versa.
He's probably shooting at those precision series.
Yeah, long distance. Yeah,
Just wondering your thoughts. The scenario I'm currently working through is a Ruger PC9 carbine shooting targets at 30 meters, 50 meters, 30, 50, 100, and 150 yards. Scope or red dot?
At 150, you got a bit of drop with a 9mm, so a scope with some holdovers may be an advantage there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of drop at 150 meters with a 9mm.
What's the drop? Like a drop at 100, I can like eyeball. What's the drop at 150 for a 9mm? I don't even know.
Foot? I can't say for sure, but anything past 100, I'm using a scope. Especially with a 9mm.
If the PC9 is accurate, maybe a scope. But the PC9s I've shot haven't been accurate enough to justify a scope, and I would rather run a red dot on it because YOLO. I mean, it's you're not going to get the accuracy on it anyways. You're going to get those crosshairs perfectly on target. Pull that trigger,
still shoot 4 inches,
and it's still gonna miss. So you might as well just get a red dot and just send it at the target and not worry about it.
I don't know what he says he's shooting at 30, 50, 100, and 150. I don't know what he's shooting, but does it really matter? No,
could be a PCC match for a 3-gun because we would do that kind of thing.
We're in Ontario. He's in Ontario.
Do you guys have PCC matches where you guys shoot long range? Not really.
No. So just go back it up just a bit. A couple of people that are on our feed said that Tangent is a Canadian company, and also Zeus, Zeiss. Yeah, Zeiss.
Data. I think he made.
But
Zeiss makes lenses. That's their primary thing.
I've never heard of Tangent Theta. Are they a manufacturer or are they a distributor?
Tangent Theta. Said based in Halifax. I don't know. Anyways. But they're not the top 3, so we answered the question. Top 3.
Yeah,
but he said big 3, and I don't know what big means. From Aaron. Adriel, you want to take Aaron's?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me get back down there. From Aaron, I've been catching up on my Slamfire, and some weeks ago you went on to the topic of bolt-action shotguns, so I figured I'd share my own experience. 2 years ago, I found my grandfather's Stevens 124C bolt-action 12-gauge in my parents' attic. I remember this gun from my childhood where it hung on a gun rack in a spare room until I was about 12 years old. I admit that my brother and I would often play with it when we were kids in what is a distinctly irresponsible way. But no live ammo anywhere in the house. I guess the most injury we risked was being cut by the sharp edges or dropping it on our toes. It made its way up to the attic when the room was renovated and sat there for about 20 years. I remembered it 2 years ago over the Christmas holidays. So I pulled it out of the attic and found it covered in light rust with the trigger somehow full of sawdust. With the addition of a trigger lock, brought it back to my shop and gave it a thorough cleaning. Thankfully, I was able to find some takedown instructions because there were several gotchas. Where am I right now? Sorry, I just moved it. Like having to line up the firing pin while sliding the bolt into place during reassembly when the firing pin is supported by the bolt itself, made inaccessible by the inserted bolt, but the only way to line it up being to turn the gun barrel down, wiggle at everything, and poke at it with a long rod through the barrel. There was much swearing. Several hours of cleaning it with gentle wire brushing, running a bore brush up and down the barrel on a drill, and a lot of rem oil and brake cleaner, and it came out fairly well. Taking this thing out to the range, I can't see how it could ever have been a practical firearm. 2 or 3 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber, but that follow-up shot means unshouldering the gun, working the bolt, remounting, and pointing. By then, whatever you're shooting at must have run or flown away. Still, neat to put some slugs down range. I must say it's satisfying to work the bolt. I've shot a few rounds of trap with it. It's heavy, but it breaks clays. The C in the 124C means choke, and I think it measures similar to modified. I've even tried 5-stand and was pleasantly surprised with some practice. Shots on report were actually achievable. It's a big mental load to pull the charging handle, cycle the bolt, push the charging handle, remount the gun, find your aim, and fire, but doable. Still, I can't say it's a practical shotgun for anything other than a single shot by any means. Thought you might like the story, and I've attached a few pictures of the thing. Love the show. Thanks.
My least favorite firearms to work on when they come into the shop.
Why do people bring them into the shop? Like, aren't bolt-action shotguns, like, the value on them so low it's not even worth doing things with them?
Well, when it's the only gun you have and you need to get it repaired, you get it repaired. Or it's a family heirloom or what have you.
Yeah. I mean, those Cincinnati, like, break action things are like $100-some bucks. I would rather run one of those because at least it's lightweight and small and compact.
Well, it's lightweight, so it kicks like a mule. It doesn't have a long barrel, so, the FUDs don't think you're going to hit anything because the barrel's too short. So
some of them,
Yeah. I just was looking at the pictures. Awesome.
All right. If you would like to email the show, you can do so by sending it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. We have a new Patreon this week. Richard D. He is signed up as a Patreon for $5. Thank you so much. It helps keep the lights on and keep us in equipment, etc., and so on. Patreon supporters will receive a patch in the mail. If you've not received yours in a month of signing up, please let us know. Anyone who's interested in becoming a Patreon can go to patreon.com/slamfireradio. You can also support the show by visiting our website and clicking on our affiliate link for Cabela's. So if you're going to go to Cabela's and purchase something, just go there through us, and that will also help show support for the show. Shout-outs. I have some shout-outs. Justin, the match director, put on another great match. Ben and Joel designed some of the stages for the match. As far as I know, for Ben, it's the first time he designed IPSC. Well, I'm not going to assume. As far as I know, it's the first time Ben and Joel designed stages, and they were really good stages. And there was a lot of new ROs that were getting their first mentored points during this match. So Ben was ROing for the first time during this match, and it was nice to see. He had a lot of things to balance, and you remembering to take his gun on and the commands and trying to manage a walkthrough and stage planning and shoot the match and RO, and he realized it's a lot to do, but he pulled it off. He did really good for his first time out. No mistakes were made that I'm aware of, so good job. I hope you keep it up. I think you're going to be a great RO. Adriel?
Yeah, just to the Ladies' Day volunteers, like as soon as we got the crush of people coming in and RSVPing, we put out another call for volunteers, and a whole bunch of people were like, oh yeah, I got nothing to go on this weekend. So we got a mitt full of more volunteers, and we needed them. We needed them to get through that day, and I just want to say thanks for coming out and making sure that we were well supported.
Sweet. Kelly?
I do have a shout out. I wanted to say thank you very much to Steve for joining us and supporting Project Maple Seed and shooters here in Canada. So Steve is the gentleman, the founder for Great Birch Solutions.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Please join a National Firearms Association such as the CCFR. Go over and check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. We are up to... Thank you, Kelly. We're up to 2,707. Kelly is picking up my slack yet again and updating all the sections of the show notes, which I really appreciate. And you also may want to consider reaching out to your city councilor because, of course, municipal handgun bans is something that's being considered. So find out where your councilors' heads are at and maybe set their heads straight. Until next week, everybody. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Oh.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.